Grant, a cracking game last time out against Notts. Does it speak to the competitive nature in the league this year in League Two?
Yeah, I think it was a good game. I think it was two good teams for the division. I thought good spectacle. Really watching the game back as well. I enjoyed it. Maybe not the first 20, 30 minutes. We probably showed them a little bit too much respect, and that wasn't the case going into the game. We knew they were a good footballing team, a possession-based team. Highest amount of possession in the division, so we had to get the press right against them. We didn't. We did certain moments of it, but we didn't fully commit to it. But 15 minutes, probably, like I said after the game, probably the last 15 minutes we got into the game. Second half, I thought we were outstanding and probably unlucky not to win the game. But credit to Stuart, Notts County, what they've done there and how they've recruited and the style of play they play. It's difficult to play against. But I thought we sussed it out. We got there in the end, and probably unlucky not to win the game.
You've played almost all of the top 10 now and are well placed in the league. You joined second. Is that a positive sign that you've played most of the top teams at the moment in League Two and are where you are in the league at this stage?
I think it's still early, Rob. To be honest, I think it's. I think the league probably doesn't take shape till 25 games or so in, and then you're hoping that you're in and around the mix and or in the the coattails of the top regions of the division. How quickly it can change. Like we showed it last year. We probably didn't get going until February time when we put that run together, probably end of February. So it can shift so quickly. The division, it's probably in all the divisions, probably from the Championship down to League Two. 5-6 wins can put you in a really strong position, and when you get that, the confidence comes and everything's flying and players are doing things and that probably are not even coaching on the training ground. It just comes naturally to them. So yeah, we feel like we're in a good place. The form's been fine. We're disappointed not to win the game against Notts County, but we got to shift our focus now to Salford, who have been on a decent run themselves. I think they've lost one the last 6 or 7 games in all competitions. So doesn't surprise me because I know Carl. He's a good manager. I've managed against his teams over the years many times, and I felt that he would get them going at some point, and it seems like he is at this moment in time.
How close do you think you are to reaching your best as a team? Reaching your ceiling, maybe?
I think it was the best we've shown this season, the second half against Notts County. And I know we only scored 1 goal in the game, but we had so many opportunities and chances, and the energy, the aggression, the tempo, the intensity, everything that we speak about all the time, that has to come first before we can play and show our style of play and our game plan. We showed all that in abundance in the second half, and it was probably the most I've enjoyed us this season, just watching us and thinking, we've got it. The bite's there, we're taking the ball off people, we're driving at people, we're creating opportunities, balls are coming into the box. A couple of times we just didn't pick the right moment or the right pass, but that is what we're about, and we need that for 90 minutes now. We need that for complete performances, because we showed that against a very good Notts County team that we can do that, so that's the benchmark now.
I was checking in with a couple of fans this week to gauge what their feelings were, and they were saying, look, it's enjoyable to watch this team. They appreciate the work rate off the ball as well. Although your ultimate goals will not be gauged on feedback on the 15th of November, Grant, is it a positive thing to hear those kind of things, to know that the team has had an impact and that you really are sort of resonating with this fan base?
I really do believe we've got a club that's completely together, and what I mean by that is I think the fans have got a group of players, 25, 26 players, that are giving everything and want to make the fans happy, and our fans are giving us everything and want to make us happy and support us and be behind us. And I think once you've got that and you've got a massive buy-in from the club and the owners and the direction that we want to go in, it gives yourselves a chance. And then, look, it's taken a bit of time, Rob. Like we spoke quite a bit last season, didn't we, early on? And I kept saying to you, it'll turn. We'll keep going. We'll make it work. We'll get to where we need to be. And I think we're getting there. I still don't think we're anywhere near where we can be, but I think we're definitely getting there. And we've got an honest group of boys who work hard, want to give everything for the football club. Nobody sulks, nobody disappoint, but nobody sulks when they're not playing, and they want the team to do well. So we've got the foundations of a really good group and a really good structure behind the group to hopefully have us in and around that top mix at the end of the season.
One final question from last week. Did you get a response from the officials and the powers that be over the non-penalty? Did you get any sort of feedback on that? As sometimes they do give managers a bit of feedback, don't they?
Yeah, I spoke to the assessor straight after the game, and he actually had a look at the footage. The first one, he agreed it was a penalty. The J was pulled to the floor. The second one, I said after the game, after my press on Saturday, I'd go and speak to him, and I did. And the second one, he was like, look, he thinks he's the contact's not enough. But my question to him was, and when I spoke to Mike Jones on Monday, was, look, he agreed the first one was a penalty on Jay McGrath where he went to head it and he was dragged to the floor. The second one, he said there's not enough. And my question back was, we're trying to stamp out diving in the game. We certainly are, and I'm a big advocate for that. I don't want to see people throwing themselves to the floor. But I know if Molyneux had a fail there at that instance, it may have been a free kick outside the box and a red card, or it may have just been a penalty and a yellow. But he didn't. He stayed on his feet. Moles doesn't take penalties, hence why he stayed on his feet. Listen, if he had went down, we probably would have got either a red card and a free kick on the edge, or a penalty and a yellow card. But I would never tell my player to dive. That's not for me. I think you're hoping the referee steps in those scenarios. But look, apart from those two big decisions, referee was fine in the game. He really was, and we've been fortunate over the last 5-6 games that referees and quite a lot of inexperienced referees. Maybe a game tomorrow, quite a younger referee in terms of experience. They've been really good to have, and credit to them for that, because they've trusted some young referees in big games for us, and they've been fine. But those two decisions, when they don't go your way, and the J one probably could have got us back into we could have went in a half time 1-1, and we probably could have went on and won the game at Notts County. So that's how big the decisions are. But yeah, listen, they are what they are.
Any fitness news going into this game, Grant? Anything to update?
No, not one injured player in the treatment room, which is great. We had 25 players on the training ground this morning. Richard Wood out there as well. So yeah, physios have got a nice time to relax now and chill out. But no, it was pleasing to see. It's such a healthy place to be at this moment in time in terms of everybody fit, and that's hopefully we want to try and keep it like that.
And finally, you touched on Salford as a test earlier, but they've proven to be quite tough to beat, haven't they, as an away team? Have you sort of seen any reason why that is, why they've got the away record that they have?
I think they're organised. I think they've turned the corner in terms of, probably since Carl's got in there, they've chopped and changed a little bit with their formation and their shape, and over the past 7 or 8 games they've stuck with a similar sort of shape, formation, personnel quite similar. So that's probably hence why you see them being a bit more strong over the last 6-7 games for sure. The continuity that brings. But he's recruited very well. I think he's brought some really good players in there. This will be a tough game for us, a really tough game against a different type of team than Notts County, but certainly the best pressing team in the division statistically are Salford. So we're going to have to be really good in terms of how we play and build and play through them. But we're going to have to move the ball quick and be good in terms of how we play against them. So I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be quite open because of how high they press. But we just need to make sure we pick the right moments and take our chances when they come our way.